efficient vehicles, things that we can do as consumers, promoting some of the tax initiatives, and then just education. And we think that that's one of the catalysts that we can provide.
I'm impressed with the fact that you're getting $2, you're spending $2 to get 70 miles, so that's pretty impressive. It's better than my hybrid, so that makes sense. What other we really have some problems in this area with lack of public transportation, very limited public transportation. And when we were working on the comprehensive regional plan, everybody kept talking about, well, we need more buses and more trains. And I kept thinking, is that really the future of public transportation? We're just going to continue to see buses and trains, or is it going to be a better version of them, or what? What's the future hold?
I'm not sure what the future holds.
This is not a crystal ball.
I wish I had the crystal ball.
But you can use the glass to do this.
I think we need to have all forms of transportation. I think we need to have choices. Americans, we want choices, and we don't want to be told what we have to do. So we might see different versions of public transportation. It's not the answer for everyone. And I think we just need to be smarter in the choices that we are making. If we're not going to use public transportation, we just need to be thinking about the choices that we are making and how it affects our future.
But is there what does the bus or the train of the future look like? I mean, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, what will be different about what we're currently doing?
It might be running on hydrogen by then.
In 15 years, it potentially could be running on hydrogen. We see natural gas playing a big role here. Throughout the Chicagoland area, and I think you're going to be hearing a lot of activity because we've got a lot of projects that we're working in and around the lake with compressed natural gas, liquefied natural gas, propane and electric, and hybrids. I think all those have a place with buses, with transportation. I think with the Port of Indiana, with our mills, I think you're going to continue to see all of these transportation aspects continuing to improve, just like the fuel economy of fossil fuel cars.
Right. Well, explain to me this hydrogen thing. My degree's in political science, but they actually wanted to mark the science part out, I think. Why is everybody going, oh, we could be just using hydrogen? What's up with that? I mean,
well, I think potentially right now with the cost of hydrogen, the cost to replicate mass-produced vehicles, it's very, very expensive. And again, as Lorrie said, that's why I think 10 to 15 years, there's constant new reports that are coming out on hydrogen and the cost to produce the vehicles and the infrastructure. I think once that is figured out, and the OEMs, the auto manufacturers, the bus manufacturers are doing a lot of studies. There's a lot of different technology that's out there. There are demonstration projects, and potentially I would see some potential demonstration projects with hydrogen coming to Northwest Indiana.
Well, can I ask my second really stupid science question? Okay, hydrogen is such a good direction to go if we can get it costly because it's the chief element of water and there's plenty of it around. Is that the deal?
Correct. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does it takes quite a bit to separate it? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, I think again.
All these are the scientific, so I have to turn to him.
But again, I think Keith, what we see is the imperfections are really they have to be cost. Everything revolves around money. Everything revolves around the environment, and we do see with the national laboratories that the Department of Energy works with the Department of just with the Department of Energy, that we're probably 8 to 10 years away from seeing mass-produced hydrogen technology.
That's it. What are the kind of things, Lorrie, are you guys, besides the cars and transportation, what are the recommendations are you making to communities and to people? What do we need to be doing?
I think just thinking about what we're doing, making an educated choice in how we do our commuting, planning our trips, planning what we're doing. As far as transportation goes.
Well, I think we're big advocates of smart growth, the smart growth that the Northwestern Indiana Regional Planning Commission has, and working with a variety of communities to help them implement that. Again, it's change. Again, as we've gotten older, we always wanted to be away from the city and living out in the country, and now that's kind of a role reversal that we're seeing within our communities here in Northwest Indiana, that people want to be closer to the hometown types of atmospheres. But
does that mean we're just all getting older? Is that what you're trying to say?
We're just getting better, Keith. How
Okay,
about that?
we're getting better. Now, you guys are evidently going to have a radio show here, and this was kind of self-promoting since it's going to be right here at Lakeshore Public Radio, but I actually didn't know that until you brought it up. So why is that such a good thing?
Well, what we see is, all we hear about some of the negative things that are going on in our area, and what we want to do is we want to host this to talk about the great things that are going on in green transportation. We want to make people aware of, not only the things that are going on with Fair Oaks Dairy, with their conversion of cow manure to natural gas, but there's other activities that are going on right here in the region. And we want to make people aware of these things and things that potentially as consumers that we can do. We promote a lot on emission reductions and idle reduction, and we think that people realize that the cost of gasoline is is escalating, but we still see people utilizing the drive-ups and waiting in drive-ups from 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, maybe your show will bump Jerry Davidge, I'm not sure, but he's quite entertaining, and you guys know him. In our last minute here, and you can't believe our time is already up, what are you most proud of that you've done, Lorrie, with this company and the efforts you've had?
I guess that I feel like we are making a difference in the area here. We were born and raised here, and so it's nice to be able to give back to the community. And I feel that we're able to do that through the funding opportunities that we've been able to bring to the community and the projects that have been able to be implemented.
Well, I would say just observing you at a distance, seeing the things you've done in the paper, hearing about you, and you and I have known each other for really quite a while, you guys are doing some really great things. And I called you champions in the beginning, and I really think you are. And you're making a difference in our region and in Wisconsin and some other places. So this is terrific. And I thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
All righty. Change is constant, and it may be more apparent in our lifestyle than any other place. We must learn to do things differently as we progress into this digital world. If we don't, we may find ourselves unable to function. Do you use that antiquated checkbook, or are you paying your bills online? Still flipping through those outdated encyclopedias or searching through Wikipedia? Are you a slave to the TV time schedule or programming it so you can watch when you want? Most of us are slowly and sometimes reluctantly learning and making the change. Where we are struggling, though, is in the areas of environment and energy consumption. We're still putting chemicals down our drains, using the wrong fertilizers, not recycling, not composting. We continue to drive our cars too much, run our air conditioners when it's not necessary, and use inefficient appliances. We even blow our leaves and snow rather than rake or shovel. We are a society which responds to economic changes quicker than climate change. I'm one of those who believes we are not going to reduce our driving dramatically until gas is $7 per gallon. Just like you, I complain when I'm filling up my tank, but part of me hopes the price will go higher, forcing us to change. I wish I didn't have to believe that way, but I do not think there is a public will to change how we live. We clearly start to reduce usage when prices at the pump or the utility bills climb. Only then do we take the train or bus and turn our thermostats down. So we must change for the sake of our fragile planet, our personal health, and more importantly, the lives of future generations. It is so easy to point at the other guy and note his complacency or ignorance. Instead, we have to start with ourselves, change our habits, and modify our lifestyles. Rather than looking at it as painful, focus on the long-term benefits. As the late, great Michael Jackson reminds us with his lyrics, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Make that change. What did you think of today's show? We want to hear your thoughts. You can email your comments to our email address on the screen or reach us through our website. Join us next week for another Lakeshore Focus. I'm Keith Kirkpatrick saying, make a positive difference in our world today.